I totally was not anticipating making a video today, but Nvidia's CES 2019 showcase keynote speech presentation thing just happened tonight. So I'm going to try to get a video out real quick because there were some really big things announced. Now, of course, we had the RTX 1060, which was put up for $350 US dollars. Can do ray tracing, was shown, most of the time was spent showing ray tracing in Battlefield 5. It's supposed to be faster than a 1070 Ti, 60% faster than a 1060, and yeah, pretty neat. And then they did mention that they partnered with OBS, with the OBS devs. I've actually been involved in this, not from a development standpoint, but planning coverage in terms of making videos about it and things like that. It's still a work in progress. I'm still working with beta builds, but I can say that Nvidia has created a new SDK for the NVENC, Nvidia GPU encoding, which is leveraging your graphics card to record videos instead of having to record it on your processor, which can help eliminate the need for two PC streaming setups and a whole lot of other stuff. They've been working hard to get this right, and it will improve quality a teeny tiny bit for just people in general, but overall make it much more efficient on the OBS side. And then the 20 series cards, the RTX cards themselves, actually have new NVENC silicon, which is higher quality. And I'll have separate videos on that. I've actually, in theory, partnering with the OBS or Nvidia and stuff. I'll have some videos on that. This is about FreeSync, except not FreeSync, adaptive sync. Nvidia went on, or Jim went on stage and did this whole thing about how important GSync was and how revolutionary it's been and what's actually involved. He really took the time to kind of go through the explanation that they have developed special silicon processors within the monitor themselves to interact with the GPU for GSync, to further iterate why, they don't use FreeSync or general adaptive sync. But Nvidia has announced that they will open up compatibility with adaptive sync monitors, which should include FreeSync, if it's just listed as FreeSync, but non-GSync monitors to work as GSync. This is huge. This is really big. Part of me is super excited because it's like, heck yeah, right now I am testing a VOTech, I believe that's the brand, VOTech giant FreeSync 144 hertz panel that I may switch to just because I've been enjoying it so much, but it's a VA panel, so it's got some ghosting issues, which is kind of disappointing. But that's FreeSync, and then my second LG panel hooked up to my main desktop at the moment is FreeSync, and so being able to just enable that would be kind of cool. And so they've gone through and they opened up there's the GSync tier, which is GSync, monitors that is already there. Then they have the GSync Ultimate tier, which is GSync HDR monitors. And then there's the compatible with GSync monitors. And this is where they're going to be testing and validating every monitor individually and giving them certification to actually enable and work with GSync. And for those monitors that pass and get certified as compatible with GSync, those will actually get enabled in the drivers by default as soon as you install a graphics card or whatever, to just work with GSync out of the box, which is freaking fantastic. The problem is, they say they have tested 400 monitors so far, and only 12 have passed. 12 out of 400. Now, in all likelihood, they have some pretty rigorous testing, and this could be a good thing, that they're really trying to make sure that the user experience with GSync talking to the FreeSync and adaptive sync is totally locked down and on par and what it should be without any hiccups or issues. And that's sort of a good thing, especially if it's something that will be enabled by default. You can just check it and run. But that means that it is pretty strict. But again, he really wanted to harp on the fact that they prefer their method of using dedicated hardware in the monitors that is GSync exclusive, and that is why their experience is so great, according to Nvidia, and that is why probably only 12 monitors have passed so far, due to, they have certain restrictions for the experience. Now, the good side is that it has been stated that if your monitor has not passed validation or whatever yet, you can still go into an experimental setting in the driver and still enable GSync support and test it. So that means these monitors that probably won't even get tested, you can try it out and potentially have mixed results. So that's cool that you can still play with it. This is a good thing overall. This means that people who have Nvidia cards and didn't pay out the GSync tax for more expensive GSync displays will now get adaptive sync on their monitors. But this is also still This is essentially like Nvidia taking away more market share from AMD without actually opening up their own adaptive sync standard, because what everyone has wanted is Nvidia to just kind of forego GSync or further open up GSync or make it open source to fall in line with FreeSync or adaptive sync in general with Visa, and just integrate FreeSync in the first place and have everybody on open standards, which is lofty and ideal and would be ideal, but unrealistic from Nvidia. And especially with Intel announcing that their iGPUs and upcoming dedicated GPUs would support adaptive sync out of the box, I thought that might be more pressure. But instead of doing that, instead of actually opening up their platform and moving everyone to, less competition-based, they are still, G-Sync is still a priority. They're just making it so that if you didn't buy a G-Sync monitor, your benefit with an Nvidia GPU is in theory not sacrificed, which kind of makes it less, gives there less of a point to buy an AMD GPU for some people, because they were buying them for budget FreeSync setups, and now you don't need to. You can just buy a G-Sync one or an Nvidia one. But that also might take away some of the value of paying the G-Sync tax for G-Sync specific monitors, and so either they're really going to have to believe in the value of what G-Sync offers over G-Sync plus adaptive sync, or they might have to start lowering that G-Sync tax on monitors, and I'm really not sure what we're going to see yet. There's going to be a lot coming from CES, and I'm not usually one to do a whole lot of coverage for it. In fact, I don't really have any coverage planned for it for this week, but I will have some videos coming soon about the NVENC and OBS support stuff, because that's really my meat and bones. I don't know what the phrase I'm trying to get at here, but that meat and potatoes, that is the stuff that I really get into, and I've actually already been working with the development builds of this version of OBS and the stuff that's going on, and I've seen behind the scenes. It is really exciting, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I need to hurry up and edit this video so I can go to bed. I will see you in the next one. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that jazz. Come support me on Patreon. I'll see you next time.